just so we're all on the same page, I talked about earlier this jag that, I call it a jag anyway, you can kind of see that kind of goes stair steps over there on the far right. That separates metals from what? Non-metals. Non-metals, okay? So you'll want to know that. But there's other ways to chunk up the periodic table. And this kind of highlights that. So what you're looking at is the periodic table without the elements there, okay? So these actually, if you hold up a periodic table, you can actually see these elements in these boxes. So I'm going to need you to know certain group names. There are 4 group names. I need you to know the alkali metals. Oops. I need you to know the alkali metals are 1A. So here's the alkali metals. They are 1A. I need you to know the alkaline earth metals. They are 2A. And then over here on the right, I need you to know the halogens. They are 7A. And the noble gases, they are 8A. While I'm at it, let me go ahead and say something about the noble gases. They're awesome, but the noble gases actually have 3 names. They're called the noble gases, rare gases, and last but not least, inert gases. Inert gases. Now, the whole rare and noble kind of go together. Nobility is rare, okay, and rare is rare. So they they are not very abundant on the earth. And this one, though, this is my favorite. They're also what we say inert. Now, if you have an inert ingredient in, for instance, a drug, that ingredient does not react with anything. It's just kind of along for the ride. So inert gases do not react. They do not react with other elements. So the last thing I want you to know is what we call, it's green here, what we call I call the main group elements. But I know Tro uses the term representative elements. They are all the group A elements. So if we find group A, like I think I might have said they're in green here, so we have 2 groups here, 1A, 2A, and then we have 3A through 8A. So those are the main group elements. So you don't need to, you're going to have a periodic table for your exam, but on your exam I am going to ask you to associate the name and symbol of an element. So for instance, if I asked you what K is the symbol for, maybe you would say potassium. Okay, maybe you wouldn't. Okay, but let me see if I can find potassium. Well, I can't read that right now. But potassium is one of the ones that you're going to want to connect up with. So for instance, what I say, what's the symbol for oxygen? Well, hopefully you would say O. So there are certain elements that you need to match up the name with the symbol. What's the symbol for silver? For maybe you would say Ag is the symbol for silver. So I have them listed here, the ones that I'm going to hold you responsible for. So let's take a look at where these are. Now these are listed by atomic number. That is the number of protons in the nucleus of that element. So here's a periodic table. So for instance, I said you need to know 1 through 20. Let's just take a look what I mean. So you need to know hydrogen through atomic number 20. It looks like calcium. Okay, you need to know those names and the symbols. And then 24 through 30. 24 through 30, chromium through zinc, then you skip some, and then I want you to know 35, 36, okay, oops, bromium and krypton, so etc. And actually, so I would get a periodic table and kind of have fun with it and mark it up, make sure I kind of know the symbol with the element. So for instance, U is the symbol for what? Uranium.